Ready to make a seagull and with fringe? Let's do it. Hey Kimberbell friends, Cristin here, and today we are going to work on block 24. It is our first of the fringe blocks. So we're going to make Seagull 1 today, and the products that we'll need are the light gray with white dots and backed with fusible mesh stabilizer. That's our main fabric, and the cut size for this is 5.5 by 5.5. And we also need our white houndstooth fabric backed with fusible stabilizer. That's for the actual bird, seagull. And then we need our batting. And as always, we want it a 1/2 inch larger than our final cut size. Our final cut size of this project is 3.5 by 3.5. So we're going to use a piece of batting that is 4 by 4. And I'm going to use my 5 by 7 hoop for this, so no problems there. And for the quilting today, it's going to be a little bit tricky like our other one. I've chosen lines 2. I call them spooky lines. It came out at Halloween time, and they're just kind of like all over lines. And I thought that'd be really fun for a sky behind the bird. So the only thing is that we need a quilting design that is 3 by 3, and Kimberbell doesn't come in 3 by 3. So what I've done is I've taken the 4 by 4 and I reduced it, and you can do that on your machine. You can do it in embroidery software on your computer. It's very easy to do. Just make sure to do a save as so that you can use that quilting design in a 3 by 3 at a later time. So easy to do. And then we've got our threads. We are going to use white for the bird and for the fringe, and we'll go over the fringe. There's fringe at the top of his head using the bobbin stitches from the back, and we'll go over that. You've probably done it before, hopefully. It's pretty easy, and in fact in the directions it says to use a different color bobbin thread so that you can find it easily. That's my dog, if you heard that big sigh. Anyway, I don't do that. I find it pretty easy to pull up the bobbin stitches, but that's something that you can do, and I'll put that in the video notes as well. And then dark gray for his wing, and orange for his little feet and beak, and then black for his, throwing the black for his eye. So anyway, we've got our fabrics. Did I mention that this houndstooth is 3 by 3? I think I did, but just in case. All right, so fabric, batting, 5 by 7 hoop, our threads, and then lines 2 is the one that I'm going to use, and instead of 4 by 4 we have to reduce it down to 3 by 3. The final cut size of this project is 3.5 by 3.5, and we're going to cut it right on the basting stitch. Hi everyone, Cristin Som here. I didn't get to do this share the screen yesterday in the tutorial. I tried, but for some reason it didn't have any sound. So I'm going to try it again real quick. I only have a few minutes, but let's just give this a try. So I am using Sew What Pro embroidery software. As I mentioned, for the 3x8 quilting design, we need to alter the size because there isn't a 3x8. I showed on the tutorial how you can do this on your embroidery machine, but here's another option if you want to try embroidery software. If you have Embrilliance or some other, that should work as well. This is just what I use, Sew What Pro. I believe there's a free download, like a trial. I bought this years ago from SNS Computing, I think it's called, and it works great for me. It's just very user friendly. So anyway, real quick here. So I'm in Sew What Pro. I go to File, Open, and I find my orange peel. If I recall, I think I did the 2x8, and say no. All right, so you can see it thinks that we're going to use a 5x7 hoop. By the way, sorry, I keep looking up my bigger monitors up there. So right here, this little hoop looking button is to adjust our hoop size. So I'm going to change it to a 6x10 so that we can see it all. And then if I zoom out, then I'll be able to see all of the hoop. All right, so this is the 2x8 quilting design by Kimberbell. You can see it's actually 2.5 by 8.5. That's because of that placement stitch. See this outside here. The placement and tack down for the main fabric is what makes it larger. But the quilting design itself, which is step 5, you can see is 2x8. All right, so to widen it, this is all I did. I clicked on the design and then just widen the whole thing. And you can see up here, it tells you what you're at. So now we're at 3.5 by 8.5, which is really exactly what we need. So then you want to go up to the top to File, Save As. You always want to save as so that you're not wrecking the original file, because you'll want your 2x8 later. And then just change the wording to something that you'll remember. I'm going to change it to 3x8 test, because I already changed one. And this is just a real quick tutorial on how to do it on embroidery software. Easy peasy. And then, like I said, I showed you on my machine. I'm sure that each machine is different, but it should, you should be able to relate it to what works on your machine. I hope this helps. Don't be afraid of this block. It's a really fun block. The soda bottles, you just have to adjust the quilting design to fit 3x8.